We set up a time to meet prior to when we start. When you show up 3 minutes before you start,
I was here. I was trying to get this thing situated. It sucks.
I show up typically an hour before the show.
Yeah, tell the people why their time is invaluable. You're listening to the most downloaded HVAC entertainment podcast in the world. Welcome to the one and only HVAC Overtime show, hosted by me and two of my bestest friends in the whole world, Chris Stefanovich from California and my buddy down below, Joe Blow, Joe somebody with his nipple hanging out.
What is this thing on your shirt, Joe?
What
Please
is
help
this?
us to understand this.
Does it shoot water?
Yeah, it's one of those
we over here.
flowers. Psh.
Is it
What is it?
It's a poppy.
And what's the significance of putting a poppy on your shirt?
Remembrance Day.
Remembrance
thing?
Day?
Yeah, it's
So
Is
we're
it like
having Veterans Day,
Independence Day, right? Or Veterans Day. Yeah.
and you're having Remembrance Day.
What are you guys remembering?
World
Okay.
War One.
Okay, so I can't. Okay, I was about to just light into you, dude. I
Were
was
you
about
guys-
to destroy
was-
you. And
Now, forget my
These-
ignorance on American and Canadian history. Were you guys in World War One?
Of course.
Were
like,
you
what did
really?
were you fighting?
Yeah.
Were you guys like
course.
throwing
Well-
sticks over the border and like?
I don't know.
No, let's.
Yeah,
we were there.
We gotta be careful here because you don't want to.
Offended.
You don't want.
Hey,
you
I
don't
don't
wanna-
remember Canada being there. All right.
But I will say I don't
Y'all.
remember Canada being there. But we'll be
know.
nice about this. So
Hey, what's up, Brian Sanders? Thanks for that, bro. This kid grew a beard better than Bill. Now, I don't know about that, man. Because let me tell you something. That little intro, it does kind of show all the stages of my bearded life. But as I've gotten older, man, my stuff's starting to thin out. So I don't know if I'm gonna go for the length like I used to.
I'm like wondering. I've been thinking about growing it even longer. So we'll see. My wife will probably murder me.
I think you should do it. Do it just one for me, Chris. Just
do it?
let it go. Just let it grow. A year, 1 year. That's it. You can do it.
I could do a year.
I would
Yeah.
love to see.
I got to trim. I got to trim and stuff. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, shape it up. Don't look homeless, but I would love to see that.
we're going Chris Stapleton over here. I'm
I would-
totally doing it.
I would totally back you up on that. I'll keep mine growing for a year too, and if your wife has a problem, she can yell at me, I guess.
I wonder what she'd do if I like braided it. If I could braid it and stuff, she'd probably get really angry about that.
Or she would get really, really excited about that.
Maybe we could take a picture, dude.
Wow,
If we grow our beards out, right? We could take a picture where we tie them together. That
What
would be-
if we got stuck together like Velcro? Like
I
when
made
we
you laugh.
do our bro hugs, and we're like, oh
Yeah.
crap. Oh crap, what do we do
Oh,
now?
Yeah, this just got weird.
And then I'd be like, what is that in your pocket, Chris?
Yep. It's a banana, bro. Do you want to have bees?
Is that a frozen banana?
Oh man.
Cyborg's like, come on, D-Day. That's right, D-Day. Wasn't that? That was, I'm assuming, World War.
Where's Cyborg from again?
He's Canadian.
Hey, what's up, Pat Finley? Thanks for that.
Oh, Pat, man. You didn't need to
Commercial
do that,
kitchen
my good friend. Thank you, bud.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you know what? I'm just going to say this right off the bat because I am somewhat of a former hot side technician. The company I work for no longer does that. But if you guys don't know, Pat Finley has a pretty awesome podcast, pretty awesome YouTube channel by the same name, Commercial Kitchen Chronicles. Go give it a watch, give it a subscribe. He's got a lot of good material out there. And like he always says, there's not enough guys getting into his particular part of the industry. So show him some love.
So
go watch his stuff.
I'm just saying right now, you know, there was this one time, actually this happened, like, it's embarrassing. This happened like 3 times. Okay. So when I first started doing my live stream, I think it was before we were doing the show. It was definitely before we were doing the show. Adam would come into my chat all the time. And then Ted would come into my chat and they'd start super chatting, right?
Mhm.
Super chat war. Like, and I kind of felt bad because I kid you not, like one night I made like $800 between Adam and Ted. It was freaking ridiculous, dude. And I'm like, guys, I can't even give them the money back because YouTube takes 30% right off the top. So I'm like, damn, bro.
I tell you, if there's anybody you want to have a super chat war in your chat, it's Ted and Adam.
Yeah, Ted and Adam. That was pretty funny.
Or not having
that too. And then
war.
Adam, well, it was funny though, because Adam got in trouble. Like he got in big trouble with his wife, right? Well, I told that to Ted. I was like, yeah, Adam got in so much trouble. And Ted's like, actually, I did too.
See, but I feel like Ted, he probably blew it off pretty quick.
Yeah.
And in Adam's world, that probably lasted like a good half a month of just getting yelled at.
For sure.
You know? Oh, Jesus, Fish. When did I hack into Chris's live stream? You remember that, Chris? That was one of the happiest days of my entire life.
Yeah, that's right.
When I hacked into your live stream and started it off for you. I don't know what that was.
The funny thing though was, okay, so we weren't doing overtime yet. We were not doing overtime yet.
No, I don't think so.
No, or at least you weren't doing it with me. Or I should say I wasn't doing it with you guys. I was just whatever. And I remember I just randomly emailed you. I'm like, hey, dude, I bet you I could find the freaking email because I guarantee I didn't delete it. But
I was trying to remember when that was, and I can't find the video. I can't find the live stream anymore.
Well, let me find this email right now.
Probably because it was so far back. But if Chris can find it, that's going to be amazing because it was legit one of the funnest times of my life. I don't remember what I said, what we did, but just I was at the cusp of my young YouTube career. And I remember when I started my YouTube channel, I always emailed Chris and I would send him my videos and I would ask him to pick them apart. And he would give me some feedback and I'd be like, awesome. And I would so I was starting to model my channel somewhat after his. I mean, it was a good idea, you know, make videos for the technicians that you work with.
I still haven't found it. I'm close. I'm finding emails from way back, but there's an email dated Molly Penderson. And it's about that Molly person. You were sending me a link to the channel.
Oh, I remember that.
Way back right now. So I have this creepy YouTube follower.
Stalker.
Its name was Molly. And why I say it is because it acted like a girl, but we like did a little bit of research and it was this dude that like just made a channel that it was a girl and it talked in sock puppets. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It was super weird. And I wonder what happened to that.
Do you remember we called that dude out? We were like, bro, stop calling yourself Molly. And he's like, I'm not. I'm
not a girl. Let's find him or her or they or them and bring them onto the show as a guest.
Somebody was asking about drawing schematics in the chat.
Schematics can be very difficult to draw, especially you'd be surprised because like I come up with ideas on the ways that I'm going to wire things. Like when I do my motor starter panels, like I know how to do it in my head. Boom, 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 boom. But then it takes me 2 days to draw the dang schematic for some reason.
I know.
Like just the backwards drawing. It's kind of crazy.
I usually do pen and pencil, but there is a free website you could do lines.
Dude, I've tried so many website apps and different things, and none of them have worked for me.
Circuit diagram, I think it is .org. I use that. It's for capacitors, resistance, line, just simple lines, small schematics. It's pretty
interesting.
See, I try to draw them and like I'll start it off with sort of an idea of what I'm going to do with it, but then I figure out that what I started with was way too big for the paper. You know what I'm saying? So then I have to expand them. Like, well, now my paper is too small, so I got to start over again. I don't scale it properly, so I just gave up. But I am curious, whoever that was that posted that comment, what are you drawing a schematic for?
Yeah, I think Will was asking too. I'm pretty sure these automation guys are more automation, or guys in chat like Chipmunk
Something custom, I assume. That
yeah,
you got to make your own
there's
schematic for it.
yeah, like AutoCAD. Fuck AutoCAD's the bomb. You could do core stuff, but dude, who's opening up AutoCAD? I am not.
No, I ain't got time for that, bro. I ain't got time to learn AutoCAD. Do what Nasty said. He's got you. Free advice.
I'm not finding this. I found like the first email that you ever sent me. I found
What's
that.
up, Minky Moo? Too. I got.
Hey, Minky.
If you look right there, I got my pink troll, and then I also got my mail away Darkwing Duck magnifying glass.
Oh, yeah,
I just got that recently, and then you can't really see it right there. You can kind of see it. One of my favorite Toxic Avengers, No Zone, or Toxic Crusaders. My bad. I think it's Toxic Crusaders. No Zone.
I just found
good looking out, bro.
A random email, and this just shows you Bill and I's friendship. How long?
I remember that.
It's been a long time, but this is Bill and I's friendship. On July 12th of 2020, I got an email, and it says, "Hey Chris, since you don't seem like a serial killer, here's my real address." And I've got Bill's real address, right? So, and that was 2020.
2020,
dude. So
time
like
flies.
We've been friends for a long time, and we've both had each other's real addresses for a long time.
Yeah, isn't that weird how like real friends work?
Exactly.
It's just weird. Like you develop this feeling inside your body where you're just like you trust somebody so much.
Exactly.
With all of your heart.
I've told you guys all my inner secret thoughts. I've told them all to you. You know?
I've been in the same house where Chris has been naked in.
Yes.
It's been a thing.
It has been a thing. Like, you know, and we've probably, I mean, you know what? Our bottoms have touched the same toilet seat.
I hope they have. That's the only reason I went to the Symposium the first time.
Yeah, Joe over here has never failed to tell us his real address. Like legit, he's in like this weird basement right now with a faux wall behind him. I guarantee you there's not even real windows behind Joe.
No, we didn't touch each other's bums, Joe.
No,
we're not like docking our. What's docking your asses? Is that like that? Like, I don't know. How do you dock an ass?
How do you dock an ass? I don't know.
Yeah.
Google that. Joe, Google that real quick.
Ass smashing.
No.
Well, some manufacturers are no longer swaging the liquid line on new condensers. You guys swaging the line in the condensers or in the line set. If I ran into that situation, you're trying to get all serious here. Honestly, I would swage the line set myself because the copper is going to be a little more pliable than trying to swage the almost hard drawn copper that someone uses for a service fitting connection.
I assume he's talking right on the end of the condenser with the service fitting, right?
You're going to start seeing this more and more as men, because there's a lot of questioning of service technicians and of press companies as to why the manufacturers are not doing solid valves. The only solution and answer that I've come up with is just because they've probably made purchasing commitments to these companies that make the valves, and the companies invest a lot of money in the tooling to make those valves and the swaging on them. So they probably need to move some stock out and get a little more life out of the tooling that they have before they start pushing these things out. But I think we'll start seeing it more and more, and then you'll be able to choose whether or not you want to press or not.
Not only that, when the service valves are swaged a certain size and it protects them, and guys put like that size, and maybe they have to go a little bit less. I seen on remote condensers. Oh, is that size out of the condenser? So I went with that size, you know. Anyways, that's another.
Hey, speaking of nuts to butts, we got one half of the Misfits HVAC podcast in here tonight.
Yeah.
What's up, Miss Jennifer Manzo? How do you say that? Manzo?
We have a female in the audience, so we need to kind of change the tone of the conversation.
Keep our swears down.
Yeah, we got to keep our swears down.
Keep our swears down. You keep your titties to yourself.
Okay.
Well, it was in my bookmarks. Yes, it's circuitdiagram.org. Check it out.
What is it now?
Circuitdiagram.org.
Oh, for the drawing the schematic, eh?
Yeah, lines.
Circuitdiagram.org.
I don't know why I said
The guys, this is what we're talking about when we say Joe speaks Canadian. Like this kind of stuff right here.
That was funny.
Orge.
I don't know.
Got
yeah, you guys say Orge. You guys have
You
no
think, like,
idea.
every Canadian's up there riding a freaking moose, and they're like, "Hey, man, check out my website at .org."
Not Orge, eh? Not Orge, eh? See, you know, some of the stuff, honestly, it just kind of it's lost on me because I've been listening to Joe talk for so long. Like talk, if you call it talking, I've been listening to it for so long. Some of the stuff is just like I automatically transcribe it in my brain.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to, like, I'll joke with my wife. I'm like, "This is what I'm talking about," and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is Joe saying?" And I'll show it to her. She's like, "Well, I don't." It's yeah.
She doesn't even know. She doesn't even know.
All right. So I stumbled, went down a rabbit hole. Oh my gosh, guys. Yesterday, Bill and Adam literally got me addicted to TikTok. Like 100%. You guys are responsible because I literally didn't have it and I refused to put it on my phone, but they kept sending me TikToks through Messenger. And when you don't have the app, you can watch the one, so like I got addicted.
I have a dead phone, no service on this, and this is my TikTok phone. It's just what it is, just TikTok.
So I went down a rabbit hole and I landed on ballroom dancing. So couples ballroom dancing, but it's improv dancing, right? And it's I
will say, like, you find the weirdest shit.
Yes.
Like,
and like but it was a trip, right? Because it's this couple that has never danced before. Or they're not a couple. They, but anyways, it's two random people that have never danced before, but they are legit professionals, and you cannot tell that they didn't choreograph this thing. Like, it's insane.
Oh, great idea. Great idea. Real quick. Don't lose sight of what you're talking about, Chris.
Go for it.
HVAC Tactical Awards. New show idea, like intermission time at the Tactical Awards, and it's like HVAC Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
Just a bunch of HVAC guys trying to do that Dancing with the Stars shit. Boom. There you go. Let's do it. Ben Poole.
So anyways, I've been going down a bunch of rabbit holes on TikTok. So I went down one today and I stumbled upon this glorious thing, right? This is a cool, like, register you can buy for your house.
Now, Michael Hausch, I hope you're watching because you're probably
Hausch.
going to want to invest in this.
You're definitely going to want to invest in this house. So here you go.
Oh no.
All right. Now, this isn't it. Okay. So here's what they're failing to show us. First off, on the side right here, these are little circular cutouts so the power cord can come out the side while the register still gets mounted to the wall. So you got a power cord coming out now, running down to a receptacle, and then you plug it in. And then it's just a couple computer fans behind it. Like, how ridiculous.
But does it show anywhere the stuff you have? Like, does it show it actually installed in place?
Since you asked that, hold on just a second. Let me share this tab right here. And this is actually the first video that I walked up on. And I'm sorry to this dude right here because we're not trying to blow him up. He's just a dude that got paid to advertise some bullshit. So you're kind of getting.
So all you guys watching, don't blow this guy's channel up.
Yeah, don't blow this guy's channel up. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
All right. But this is funny. Now he has the cord sticking out the side.
Look at that, dude.
Cool little thing. This is called the Airbrick Smart Register Booster Fan. Now, what does that mean is this is like an external addition. So maybe you have a fan vent or area in your house that may not be getting all that airflow that you'd expect from that last far run. You'll add this to that, and with this fan system will actually help push through there for you. And that's actually convenient and very cool. Also comes with the 2 screws to mount this if you need, and a wire tie. Power plug cord to that. Now, the cool thing about this device is the power cord is swappable, so you can swap it from either side. You'll literally
it's even worse.
Screws off back here.
It has a plug on the power cord,
and that's all there is.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna have a little plug running down the wall too.
Hide it. Now, this is kind of cool.
How long is that cord though?
push a good amount of
Not
air
that long,
at
dude.
low volume.
Look at the back.
an extension
Literally,
cord
it's just computer
powerful
fans.
with that.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
they say about 17 dB of
DC.
sound with this.
Dude, Michael House, you were
Especially-
thinking exactly what I was thinking. Those
What?
fans are just counteracting all that resistance that it's
Well-
added to it. Like it does nothing in the end. When
Yeah,
you...
well, I bet you anything. I would even argue that this adds pressure to the duct.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Even though it has fans, I bet you anything.
Yeah,
it
because I mean, they're
adds
just
pressure.
the two little circle fans, and then the rest of the register is covered up with this stupid display thing, and then the guts of it are.
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious, right?
But
Oh
you
my
know
God.
what? They're gonna sell. I mean, they may not make billions, but they'll make a good amount of money off of that. I'll bet.
There's actually like a company that makes like a wireless one. I think that has batteries or something like that. I've seen that out there before too. But
Oh, you know what? Speaking of dumb shit, I don't know how closely you guys were following this, or if anybody in the chat was following this. Adam was kind of getting in on a Jason Walker post, the master of the hustle himself, Jason Walker. He was just nonchalantly posting one of his videos about his sales process, his sales training process. And I think the video showed something along the lines of one of the technicians in training, one of the salesmen in training, were talking to a pretend customer about IAQ products. And I think John Ellis, the one and only, was in there commenting, and his comments were getting deleted. And so Adam stepped in and was kind of backing up what he said. And then I think some of his comments were also being deleted. I kind of followed that for a quick little minute. So that was pretty fun.
yeah, it's kind of funny to see. I don't get as involved because I've don't see J-Dub's crap, and I don't see Victor's crap anymore. Like, because it was just creating too much anxiety for me. So I just had to unfollow all that crap.
What's up, Clive? Thanks for stopping in, bro.
Hey, it's the real Ted. What's up? Do you want to know
Ted?
how I can tell it's the real Ted?
I
I
know.
said those bits are gay. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
although that could be Yamo too, because that is exactly Yamo's words.
Yeah,
that everybody
Yamo says that all the time.
all the time. That Chevy is gay.
Giello. How are
You did
you?
find some cool coins though.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's up with that? I didn't
Yeah.
get to read that. Are those like Morgan silver dollars?
Yeah, something like that. I forget what they're actually called, but he had two of them, and like I don't know, I don't really fully understand. I mean, they could obviously just be fakes or replicas, but just a quick Google search, looking on eBay, found those same exact coins that he had, and they're selling for hundreds of dollars. Like
What?
And
Yeah.
some of the pristine ones were in the thousands. Of course, that we're talking pristine, and the ones he had were beat up and used. But yeah, there were silver dollars of like one was 1895 and the other one was 17 something.
So I guess I was right. You could buy
years
a car.
ago, I probably told you guys this, but years ago we were helping my wife's grandma clean out her house because they were moving out of it, and her grandfather had just passed away, and we kept finding change all over the house. This is the condensed version. So long story short, it became a joke when we would find change. It's like, oh, we found more. Well, I found a suitcase of change in the attic, and so I went to go pull it out, a suitcase, right? An old school, like, man. So we drag it out, and it's like, oh my God, I get people to help me get it down, and we open it up. We don't know what's in it, and the whole family's all around because there's all kinds of crap we're finding in this place, right? So we open it up, and it's all change, and everybody's like, oh, more change, And I'm like, wait, no, you guys don't realize the grandfather collected everything. This suitcase was all quarters, nickels, and dimes pre-1964.
Silver,
So
like
it's
actual silver.
40% silver. So grandma, when I asked her, she was like, oh, we're just going to take it to the Coinstar. And I'm like, you're not taking this to the Coinstar, grandma. Like, don't worry about this. I got you. So I took that because my dad likes silver. I got like $3 or $4 grand from my dad for that. And it was like $900 worth of change or something like that. It was something stupid, right? Nothing, right? And my dad was like, because he loves silver, so he bought it all. And it's like, here, grandma, here's $4 grand,
He's stockpiling it.
Yeah, he's always been
smart.
Stockpiling it.
I want to invest in silver. I want more silver. I don't have enough. I don't have hardly any.
He's always been like, he's not like an end of the world doomsdayer, but he just likes to be prepared for that stuff. So, which I, to an extent, I kind of am too, but not on the level that he is. He just kind of always has a safe ready with everything he needs. And he's like that person that's always, whenever he goes out of town, he's like, all right, I changed my will. Here you go. He's like, I got this. Here's all the numbers. Here's the combinations. Like he always gives me that shit. And it's like, Dad, can you stop this crap?
See,
like, come on, dude.
I just recently sort of did that with, not to that level though, but like I just updated my life insurance and like all that. And I sat my wife down. I'm like, here's all the passwords. Here's all this. This is where you can find this, this, and this, you know, because that's all stuff that she doesn't take care of. But
yeah.
So if we don't see Bill next week, we know why.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. If you go on Facebook and you see my wife driving a purple Rolls Royce.
How's that chiller going there with those leaks there, bro? Seen a couple you posted.
Yeah, that thing is super cool. So I've been working on this chiller all week, which it's nothing super crazy, but it is fun to say. Like now I'm working on chillers, which is neat because it's ginormous. But this chiller project, had to build myself a fancy little wooden platform to sit above the condenser slab down below the condenser fan, of course. And on circuit number 1, which is a bank of, I think, like 8 condensers on the one side. So it's, 2 slabs. Circuit 1, which is compressor 1 and 3, and then circuit 2 is 2 and 4. And I was assigned to find all the leaks and fix them. And I had sort of like a blank check to do it. So I found a bunch of leaks on number 1, and I'm pulling fins away and verifying it. And long story long, the thing was I identified all these leaks like a week ago using bubbles, my leak detector, and I drew little arrows with a paint marker where this tubing right here is leaking. And so I came back this week to actually get things fixed and pull the charge, the 80 pounds of R22, pull it out of there and braze the lines back. I went back and I was like, I pulled the charge, I pressurized the system because I want to just double check. I have an arrow right there. I just want to make sure it's, just to verify because it's been a week. And this one, I couldn't find the leak. I have an arrow pointing right to it, but it wasn't leaking. And so I isolated the low side because I had low pressure switches on there. So I isolated all those because I didn't want to blow them up. And I added about 400 psi of nitrogen, maybe like 375, into the high side, into the condenser itself. And actually, it's probably closer to 4. But anyway, even at 400 psi, this leak just wouldn't budge. I was getting no bubbles. I was getting nothing on my leak detector. And it's really hard for me to describe how this thing is, but it's, the condenser tubing goes through these walls that separate the condenser sections itself.
Yeah.
And so when it goes through the walls, it forms like a sleeve around the tubing. And I got to thinking, when I found the leak, the unit was running and it was vibrating. So I moved the wall, pushed the wall a little bit, and kind of crimped down on the tubing just enough to separate the outside walls of the tubing from the inside walls of this metal sheath that it goes through. And it just let it rip. Nitrogen started pouring out. I found my leak, yada, yada, yada. But all that just to say that I suspect there's a lot more leaks on this system that I can't find because they're leaking in the same exact fashion. And circuit number 2, I was getting hits in certain places, but I couldn't verify anything bubbles, even with high pressure on it. I can't find them. And but anyway, circuit number 1, for the most part, it's fully repaired. Circuit number 2 has a known leak, but it's a micro leak, I guess, because I can't find it, even with my leak detector set on the highest setting. I brought in an Infocon to see if that would do any better, but it didn't.
Yeah. You see, and I know you're seeing what I'm popping up on the screen right now. So there's this whole conversation because Joe's girlfriend popped up, and then Jen said, yeah. So check this out. So first off,
Chris is all behind the popping up on the screen.
Yes. Honey Bunch says, Joe, please post more videos climbing ladders.
Yes, please do, Joe. I want to see them too.
And then Joe sends Honey Bunch this, whatever the hell this means. I don't know.
I know what that means. That's dirty talk in Canada.
Dirty talk into the TV screen? What?
Use helium, Jason.
That's see, in Canada, they consider
wait, this one, Bill. Nasty says Jen should invite Honey Bunch on to Misfits.
Do it, Joe. Go on Misfits. Boom.
Yep. Joe needs to, but yeah, for sure. Let's do this.
No, that'll never happen.
Joe definitely needs to go on the Misfits of HVAC, only because it's a great program. And Ryan and Jennifer, which are the co-hosts of that show, Ryan and Jennifer. They're both very professional. They do a very good job of interviewing people. They have, I would say, a list of questions. I don't think they, some of them I think they wing, but they have a good amount of questions. They do a good job.
I don't like interviews.
Well, it's not necessarily an interview. It's a conversation, but it's a led conversation because I know you, Joe, and you're not just going to spit out information. You're not one to talk about yourself. If you were to write an autobiography, Joe, it'd be like, what, 9 words? Like, probably. I am Joe. Flannel is cool.
I wear poppy.
Yeah.
Dude,
my soup is moose ball flavored.
We very well might have a problem here.
Oh, sweet.
We might have a problem, and let me go ahead and share this real quick because the last video that I have seen from Molly Penderson was a long time ago.
Canada, the end.
Oh my God.
Is that Spanish music?
I don't think so.
Spanish music?
There's Molly, his biggest fan.
Oh my gosh, this invaded my live stream forever, guys.
Yeah, the person of this channel was like stalking Chris for a good minute. Yeah. Maybe they still are. We don't know for sure.
Give my friend Tommy a follow. Tommy Penderson on TikTok 3 years ago.
Sounds familiar.
Because Molly Penderson.
Oh,
dude, I'm telling you, it's all the same person. And so was the real person too, right?
Oh, you know what? Real quick, speaking of weirdos, let's give our number 1 fan, Randy, and his little buddy Luke a shout out, which you never know. Randy, are you actually Molly Peterson?
Yeah.
Is that you? Did you switch? Did you switch from little weird dolls to little weird cows? Is that you, bro? Let me know. Let me know.
So, and it turns out that Randy,
what's up, Randy,
didn't move houses. He just moved rooms.
Yeah, he just moved rooms. He just went down the hall.
So he didn't have to tow the trailer down the street. So
yeah, you know, it's weird. I may have felt I felt like a smidge bad about that, but telling him just to hook his truck up, and I was like, dude, bro, your house is on wheels, man, just move it. So we're bros, Randy. You know that if you're watching. But I was in the comments of some post that he had, and I was like, Randy, did you move because of ghosts? And he's like, no, I was supposed to move into that room after my pa died, but it's something about his uncle moved in there and he didn't get to move in there right away. I'm like, oh. So it was because of ghosts.
Asshole.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that'll teach me from asking more questions than I should have.
With your Bill's sense of humor,
you know. Like, damn, Randy.
Oh yeah, so we got really good news. A miracle happened, and we don't need to say how the miracle happened, but it's all good.
You having a baby?
No, we have an announcement about the symposium, right? Don't we? Are we going to talk about this?
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Adam didn't confirm anything with me, but
no.
Bill's going. So Bill's going for sure.
I'm possibly going. See, we'll get into the details of exactly what's going on with that later. But
we're not going to talk details. But
I probably will be going.
There we go. Okay.
Who in the chat's going to the symposium, by the way? Any of you guys in the chat going to the symposium, the HVACR Symposium down in Florida?
I know Jennifer is, and I know
JMO. We'll call her JMO.
I don't know if he'll be able to make the symposium, but I'm pretty sure.
Are you going?
I'm pretty sure we're going to see him, Will Speed, at some point. I don't know if he'll make
House is going,
but House, yeah.
Dustin was.
Will Speed's got to be an AHR. Well, you suck, Will Speed.
Yeah. I was actually incorrect, Will. I was wrong. AHR is not the same weekend as the symposium. It is a week apart.
Oh, Pat Finley, he's not going. Damn it, Pat.
Animal.
Yep.
Adam, who? Adam's being phased out.
Adam,
my bad.
Who's Adam?
Who is that?
Idea. Yeah, that's a good point, Will. It is the following week, so
yeah.
Don't be a jerk.
Well, originally I thought it was the same week, but it turns out it's not. So it turns out that it's like the week after.
Oh, dude, it'd be awesome if Mickey Mutu or the Chipmunk showed up. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
Anything like Clive?
Okay, so the very first symposium that I went to, there was a couple people waiting for me after the symposium, and they wanted to say hi and shake their hands, and we were talking for a few minutes. And this gentleman walks up to me, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? You're Chris. You live in California?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Cool." He's like, there's this really cool restaurant, and he hands me like a little pamphlet for this restaurant. He's like, go check out this restaurant in Vista, California. You'll really like it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't think anything of it, threw it in my bag, went back to the hotel room that night. And I'm going through my bag, looking at all this stuff, and I pull out this thing and I go, oh my gosh. And my kids and my wife, it's in the hotel room, and they're like, what? Because they were there. And I go, you will not believe what I just got invited to a cult. And she's like, what are you talking about? So then I read her this pamphlet. Long story short, it's something called the Yellow Deli Restaurant. And the Yellow Deli Restaurant, if you just Google the Yellow Deli cult, okay, it'll all come out. But this cult, they have built restaurants all over the place. And if you want to solidify the fact they are a legitimate cult, right, and they're into like the crazy shit, is they have one of these restaurants on the Appalachian Trail out in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's a rest and relaxation station to find people when they're lost and hiking. Like, and I don't mean lost, like lost in the woods, like people that go hiking to clear their mind and shit. And then you stumble upon this place. But yeah, I got invited to this place, dude. It was the coolest moment of my YouTube career. And I still haven't been able to go. I really want to go too, to go try the restaurant. But
the Yellow Deli Weirdos, Will said.
Jennifer says she's never Googling anything I tell her to again. Oh, I don't remember what I told you to Google, but I'm sure it was something. I know I got someone one time when they Googled docking. I know that. I totally got someone one time.
There you go. Check that. There's a quick, I just Googled that article about the Yellow Deli cult. I didn't read it, but I skimmed through it real quick. It seems to be legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
check
really?
it out. Pretty interesting.
So how long have you been a member of that then, Chris?
I haven't. Every time I want to go, my wife, like, she has a GPS tracker on me and she won't let me go.
Dude, you should
I've even hyped this place up so much that my daughter wants to go too. And my brother told me he wanted to go.
Oh, gosh.
And it's just a restaurant. And I'm like, I'm not going to join the cult. I just want to go.
No, because you eat the restaurant, then you fall asleep, and then you wake up in some sort of weird ceremony with no clothes on.
It sounds like Eyes Wide Shut or something like that.
It's funny, Jonathan. Yeah, go ahead.
Jennifer.
What was that?
Oh, the dude girl. Yeah, I remember that now. The dude girl.
Oh,
which one's that?
Bailey J.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
look that
Google.
up. No, thank
Anybody
you.
out there, just Google Bailey J and turn your maturity settings off.
I don't know if I'm gonna Google that right now.
Oh,
Bailey J.
You've never Googled it? Yeah, Bailey
I don't think so. Is it Jae?
Jay, I think.
Because I think somebody else Googled it, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna Google that.
Yeah, dude, you need to Google it.
Bailey J. All right, American porn star. Well, that's gross. Let's see. All right, a bunch of pictures with clothes on. I mean, I don't know. Not terrible.
Don't bother. It's a waste of time.
I mean, I don't see nothing. Oh, safe search blurring is on. All right, well, let's turn this off. How do I turn this off? All right, let's turn that off.
Oh, crap. You're making me cry over here, dude.
All right, safe search is off. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, shit.
Well, is that a wiener?
Oh, no.
I mean, you wouldn't really expect one of those there.
Right.
That's interesting. I mean, that dude's got a real effeminate face, though. I'll tell you what.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't bother.
I think those top things are real. Good gracious.
Goddamn, Bill, dude, you gotta stop. You're killing me.
Oh, man.
Oh.
This one, she's wearing like a red. Or he? Do you say he or she? Like she's wearing this red handkerchief in her hair, or his hair.
Yo.
Bill just unlocked a new thing.
Oh man.
I broke Bill.
That's a good point. I didn't need to unlock a new fetish.
You did not.
You know, because
oh gosh.
now I'm gonna have to go to my wife and be like, hey, do you mind wearing this? You ever hear of something called pegging?
Oh
no.
God.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
It's pegging.
¿Qué dijo?
It's pegging.
Oh damn! I think we won the internet tonight.
No tengo una fe.
Oh crap! I am legit crying.
Yeah,
Oh.
you guys. Yeah.
Damn.
You guys can go look for yourself. Bailey J. Now, I will say, if you're
under 45, please don't.
have your safe search on, and you're a dude, like you might get some weird feelings at first. And then once you find out like what's going on down below, you're like, then you're really confused inside, like I am right now.
You're confused, eh?
Yeah, because at first glance, you're like, I mean,
Bill just wouldn't want to be rude. He'd be like, I mean, not in love with this, but okay.
yeah, it's like,
oh man,
I don't love it, but
would you take that person to dinner, Bill?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh god damn, I can't, dude. You freaking.
She looks like a whore, or he looks like a whore.
Oh damn, dude, you killed me with that, man. Oh,
it's kind of like those chicks from Mbop when you found out that they're guys.
Oh, the Hanson brothers?
Yeah, the Hanson girls. And then you find out that those are actually dudes. After you spent like your entire youth like with posters of them on your wall, and you're like, I don't know what it is about them, but they drive me a certain kind of way.
Oh god.
They tickle you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right.
I was like,
rein this shit in.
I wouldn't mind bopping you all night long.
All right.
And they're like, oh, wait a minute, they're dudes. Oh my god. And they're still dudes.
Oh shit.
That'd be hilarious.
Right,
super gay, man.
I don't even know how to recover from this. Fucking change the subject.
See, with Chris and his Bailey J nonsense.
It all comes around, right? Chris's crush was
subject.
Bailey Jane, and yours is the Hanson brothers. Mommy, I got a crush. It's Hanson brothers. Let's go.
Yeah,
see
100%,
them.
dude. 100%. You can't tell me that you guys didn't think the same thing when you were young. When you 100%, you guys, and you guys in the chat, don't you lie. Will Speed, I know you probably thought the same thing I'm thinking, or was thinking anyway.
Does anybody know how to shut Bill the fuck up?
Like when you're 14 and the Mbop song came on, you're like, wow, these chicks can sing and they play guitar and everything.
They have a high pitch for, yeah.
They did.
Imagine this is the first show someone just clicks on. They're like, all right, this is always here. I'll finally click the button, and they click just at this part. Like when I say to search Bailey J. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just lost a couple subscribers.
Some poor Christian guys like just.
Can you imagine?
Click.
Can you imagine if Jason Walker finally clicked on it and he's like, you know what? I remember I almost went on that show. I think I'll give it a watch tonight. Then he's like, oh my Lord Jesus.
Jesus Fish has a really good, valid question. How did I discover Bailey J? That is a really good question. It is really good. Okay. I used to live.
That's a good question.
I used to listen to Opie and Anthony on satellite radio. Opie and Anthony have a guy, Jim Norton, that used to be on the show too. And Jim Norton is a freaking freak when it comes to crap. He's a comedian. So he would always come on the show and talk about the weirdest crap. And prostitutes is one of his things. And then he started talking about this Bailey J thing, and the guys were just totally making fun of him. And it became this whole thing, and I just can't get it out of my head. I loved listening to Opie and Anthony. Hey, Jason Johnson, you need to Google Bailey J.
It, bro.
Yep, that's all.
Google it and click images.
Yep, and turn your safe search off.
They are they don't do it anymore, right, Chris? Opie and Anthony?
No, they split up. It came out that they worked together for 20 years and they hated each other the entire time. It was all an act. And
can you imagine that?
I mean, they had to be freaking miserable, dude. They genuinely hated each other. So
yeah,
imagine us in 20 years. Like, we'll write our autobiographies and be like, yeah, we hated each other.
We still won't know where Joe lives.
No, we can't even mail him a copy of the book.
It's funny you talk about Opie because I know about him now. Like in the past, let's say, I don't know, half a year. There's this community I always go to. It's just I know I don't just see the drama, and it's all the comedians and people from Howard Stern or whatever. It's like their community. It's so like from Kevin Brennan, from Mike Buschetti, all these comedians. It's like their community now, right? Stand-up comedians. And it's just pretty cool. And he got brought up too a couple times, and it's pretty funny.
Joe, you live close enough to the Michigan border, I think. By close enough, I mean a couple hours. Yeah. You've probably heard of Dave and Chuck the Freak?
Not really, no.
No? Check it out. It's a podcast, and it's kind of like it's not like the same as like Howard Stern, but it's along the same lines as like Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern. Like it's a real good program. It's these two guys, Dave and Chuck the Freak, and then they got a couple other people on there show that kind of chime in with them, and they just go over current events, the news, and they literally just talk and they make fun of it the entire time, like potty humor, boner jokes. Like the funniest thing I heard today, like one of the funniest things ever, and I'll try to lay down a little bit of context to let you guys laugh with me. So Dave and Chuck the Freak, right? That's the two main hosts. And Dave is like this super white Irish guy, like overly conservative sort of white Irish guy. And then Chuck is like this he's the comedic, the comedian of the two. He's a slob. He's super hilarious. Always off color. And Dave is the guy who like brings in the news. He'll read the news and then everybody else just kind of riffs on whatever it is he's talking about. And so Dave was talking about a study that scientists apparently did about AM radio waves can help erectile dysfunction. And so Chuck, and he took off his headphones and he put them on his crotch. And Dave's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Didn't you say it helps erectile dysfunction?" And Dave's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, talk me hard, Dave. Talk me hard." And it was literally the funniest thing I heard in a long, long time.
That's fun.
That's awesome.
I'm in a rabbit hole right now.
I gotta check it out.
Check it out.
Somebody's
Dave and Chuck the Freak.
I will. I got it down on my tab.
You told me about that the other day, and I still haven't downloaded it yet.
Yeah, no, I was gonna comment in the chat about that because I was talking about that community.
Jeez, Jonathan.
Someone put Jim Norton just got married and guess to what gender?
Yeah, that's the rabbit hole I went down. So.
Oh wait, what now?
Yeah, we're not gonna go. Let's slow with the rabbit hole on that one. It's going dark.
Oh, he must have got married to probably a tranny, I assume.
Yeah, let's steer the ship a different direction.
Yeah, let's swerve away from the tranny talk.
Yep. We don't need to.
All right, what do I got on my list of? Let's see. Mbop, Bailey J. No tranny talk.
I'm gonna bring it all the way back. We're gonna bring it back to some HVAC talk for a minute.
That's good. So I got none of that written down.
So I was doing well, first off, I had a problem with my home system already. And
I got a little bit of this in the chat.
So I'm not going to give the exact stuff that's going on because we'll save it for the video. But I already had a simple problem with my system. It wasn't anything that was causing it not to work. It was a convenience feature that it had that wasn't working. I was able to get it working. And once I did, I had these high hopes that it was going to help me, and it didn't. It's disappointing, this feature. So, and it'll come out in some future videos. As far as my system goes, it functions great. It works great. The energy savings is going to be great. But I am pretty disappointed in some of the features that it says that you would think it has, and it doesn't have. So
we got no Adam tonight, so we can't do that, Hausch.
Yep. Not tonight.
For that, for both of us.
But the other thing is I had a video this last week that I released on a Glycol unit, and something I wanted to talk about. Have you ever worked on the little Glycol units with the motors, Joe, the little pump motors?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of Glycol.
Or what about you, Bill? Do you guys deal with those? Like,
I've worked on the only Glycol units I've ever actually worked on were those. What were they?
They have the carbonator pumps on them, and then they just. I don't know if the ones you're working on.
It was the Kyrac. Those Kyracs that.
Yeah. So those
Jimmy
ones have
John's has.
Those ones have like a different type of pump. These ones have like a carbonator pump. It's the same ones that they use for soda and different things like that. They can pump.
But the carburetor pump on the, and it's just pumping glycol though, right?
It's carbonator, like carbonated water. So
Carbonator pump. Am I saying it right?
But what are they using the glycol form on this system?
It's to cool the beer systems. It's just a secondary heat transfer fluid to keep blinds cold. But anyways, it has a resilient mount motor. Okay, do you guys understand what resilient mount means? It mounts, instead of a rigid frame that's welded to the motor, it's a rubber bracket system.
Oh, yeah.
Resilient mount.
It's got the two clips right on top of it.
Yeah, so it has the two clips that go around, they clamp onto the motor base. Well, it was an OEM motor, and something that I think I didn't give enough attention to is when you're installing this motor, how important it is to ground out the motor because it's on a resilient mount. See, oftentimes we become complacent thinking that, it's got a ground wire, so we're good. But this one has, or it's a metal base, so it's grounded, but this one, because it's mounted on rubber mounts, you actually have to have ground wire running from the motor to the to the body or whatever. And this one, the ground wire was pinched and severed. So like from the factory. So had I not paid attention to it, you could really mess someone up when you're dealing with glycol lines, you know? You got to think about that kind of stuff for sure.
Alanamis is they suck. Bad design, yeah.
Yeah. Carbonator pumps they burn out like crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Because customers don't clean their glycol. They don't treat it and they don't clean it. Glycol has a shelf life of only a couple years, if I understand it correctly. And in the conditions that they operated in, it starts to grow bacteria inside of it. And then that starts to build up in the lines and cause the pumps to run.
How do you clean it? You're supposed to run it through a filter?
You run like nasty ass chemicals through the system. Scrape the walls of it, throw the glycol out.
But by doing that, are you trying to clean the lines the glycol is going through, or cleaning the glycol itself?
Well, and then you change the glycol usually, because glycol usually you're only talking like less than 10 gallons on these units. So it's not like you're pumping.
They don't have additives inside.
Well, sometimes they'll add additives. They're supposed to, but it's these customers that aren't maintaining their equipment, but the additives only increase the shelf life by so much. So
now, what was that? What was that system on? I think actually you just did a video on that, right? Or maybe that was the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw a thumbnail pop up with one of those big blue glycol systems.
Yeah, it was a banner system. Yeah, definitely. Glycol should be replaced every 3 years. Jason
3 to 5 years. Yeah.
Well, and the testing it with the refractometer, because the other thing that happens too is if people don't mix the glycol right, we're pumping it in systems that are chilling it. We're dropping the temperature of the glycol typically down to like 26 degrees, and then we're pumping it around the beer lines. So
is it just straight glycol, or are they?
It's propylene glycol. It's a water mixture.
Oh, so they already mixed it.
Yeah, it's already mixed, but you can change the concentration. Usually it comes like you can either buy it full mix or you can buy it pre-mixed or whatever, but oftentimes they'll have leaks, they'll have repairs, and people will just dump water into it, and then the water content will get too high. So that's what you would use a refractometer for, to set the water content in the glycol. Because if you pour pure glycol in there, most of the times it's too thick for the pumps. It needs to be
pump will burn on one day.
Yeah, because it just can't, it's got high static pressure essentially. So
ethylene. Oh, I've never heard of ethylene.
Yeah. It's a nasty one.
Ethylene is what's in antifreeze. Ethylene's deadly because propylene is food safe, right? Meaning it's safe to be in a food environment. You still got to be careful with it, but ethylene, that's the one. If your dogs, you never want to walk your dogs and let them lick things off the ground, because if they lick the ethylene glycol, they can die.
That's a bad one.
What is ethylene glycol used for then?
Well, antifreeze.
Oh, okay.
Cooling cars, a lot of antifreeze, and then anywhere that's not a food safe environment requirement.
I call that stray cat repellent.
You know that they use propylene glycol as like an additive in a lot of foods and drinks. That's scary. Like when you look at ingredients of something, maybe not to you guys in Canada, Joe.
Yeah, because you guys have like food rules and things.
Yeah, you guys actually care about people's health.
Yeah,
but Cali's pretty stringent, aren't they?
Yeah, but we don't have universal health here or anything like that. So there's not that big push to save money in that aspect. So the government has no real way to profit from that unless people are paying them to keep the crappy food on.
That's 100% correct. Like if the United States did give away like free healthcare, they would go bankrupt almost immediately.
Yeah, if the United States did
with health problems.
Free healthcare, they would have to completely change the way the entire country ran. No, they would not allow additives or anything in the food. They'd actually have to use real sugar. No freaking any of that bull crap, red 40, yellow 50 stuff.
Oh,
None of that would be allowed.
Like I was doing I fell down a little bit of a rabbit hole the one day, and I was looking at the ingredients in my coffee creamer, and I just started Googling it, reading up on them, and it was like none of the chemicals in there were not like a moderate risk was the lowest one, but they were all like linked to this, linked to cancer, linked to this other thing that was super bad for you. And I'm like, I've been drinking this every day for years.
Yeah.
I gotta give that up now.
Yep.
So it's funny. I'm glad they did that though, because you guys are saying it's food safe. Now I spill sometimes a lot of it. The other day there was, you were using it as a chill system in a building, and it was hooked up to obviously a tower, but down there didn't have too many valves, and they were leaking by. I opened it and it just gushed all kinds. I'm like, it's a good thing it's sewer safe. Now I could go down the sewer and it's safe for the environment. But
I mean, it's not great, but it's it's food safe, right?
It's really awesome. So my condensing, I have a condensing furnace, 90% or carrier. I don't know the model number, but it condenses into a pump, like a little condensate pump that sits next to it, right? And then that condensate pump pumps it over into my sump pit. And then eventually the sump pit pumps it outside. And it pumps it to, I think it's called a bubbler pot. Like there's no drains like where I live. I'm not hooked up any sort of city drain work or anything like that. So there's no drains other than like I have a septic system, and we're not going to pump it into that. So it pumps it into this bubbler pot, and then it just kind of flows down the yard. So I have this bare spot in my lawn of where all my condensate, my acidic condensate water is pumped to. It looks real stupid, and I'm not real sure what to do about it.
Wow.
It's condensate, it's got to go somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, where do I reroute it to? I don't know. Not sure how to handle that situation.
That is weird how they do that. Septic tank, there's no sewage system. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Why can't I just go in your septic tank? Who cares?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of thought about that. I'm like, it seems like it's either one, it's gonna like fill it up with nasty probably gases that could explode, I would imagine, maybe some sort of concoction that's just going to burst one day,
possibly.
Or like on the positive side, maybe all of that carbonic acid, or what is it, hydro acid that's in the condensate water, maybe that just like keeps my septic tank nice and clean and, you know, at a low level, because it just destroys everything. Or
you could do like Al Anonymous say, it's not cold here, but they prefer you do it. You could add neutralizer to the condensate. Depending with the
that's not bad. Limestone chips.
Interesting. And depending, it's not mandatory, I believe. Someone could quote me. I'm pretty sure it's not code, but depending on what kind of drains the houses have, you should be doing it. Some have the clay, some have the metal, some have the plastic.
But I wonder how often I'd have to change those limestone chips. And also, I wonder where I would put it, because the condensate goes into my condensate pump and then into the sump pit. I feel like I could just throw some into the sump pit and let it neutralize there.
There's a lot of people that have solutions here, different natural things.
Yeah.
So
soda ash will neutralize it.
I don't even know what the hell that is. So
yeah, me either.
Yeah.
And neutralizers are good. Why not? Because anything that comes from metal rust.
I've got to I'm hopefully going to air balance my system tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna air balance it. It honestly, I mean, whatever. I'll just say it here. It's gonna be funny to make the video when I don't know if the people, because there was a lot of criticism about the fact that I use flex duct on my system. So there was a bunch of criticism. And guys, when I say there was criticism, it's not offending me. I just found it funny. Okay. I don't mind people criticizing me.
Like a bunch of people that don't know how flex duct could work.
Yeah. There was a lot of people criticizing me because I use flex duct, and they were, you know, you're not going to meet airflow. Your static pressure is going to be through the roof, all this different stuff. Technically, I don't need to balance my system at all. And I've not done anything with any dampers. Technically, I'm within the margin of error for air balancing on my entire system. Every register, just by sizing everything right. So, and stretching out the duct and all that stuff. So it'll be funny when I get to make that, if any of those people actually watch it. So that'll be
I mean, we all know flex duct can be used if it's used properly.
Yeah, if it's used properly, that's the thing, you know. So yeah, I'm still going to air balance my system though, just to tweak, just because I'm a nutcase. I'm going to do everything they say not to do. And they say not to pay attention to the CFMs, and they say to pay attention to the percentage of design, basically, instead. And but the CFMs are driving me nuts, so I'm definitely going to be tweaking.
But you still have all the original information, like when you tested it before, right? So you can do a side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, I have pressurization numbers in the rooms. I'm still over pressurizing the rooms for sure, because we don't have a return path yet, but we're working on that. But the over pressurizing reduced in half, basically, by the size of the system, which kind of makes sense too, because we're moving a lot less airflow. So
interesting.
Do you know your total static pressure? Al Anonymous is asking.
No, I have not drilled any holes to actually measure my total external static. But what I will say, the Infinity controller tells you static pressure. Okay. Yep. It says it's 0.26. But I know that number is not accurate. Okay.
But why?
Well, I don't think that number is accurate, but maybe it is. I don't know, but I don't think that number is accurate because the airflow is over 200 CFMs off. So it says that I'm running 850 CFMs of air through my system through the infinity control, and I measured over 1,000. So with a powered flow hood.
So how are they reading that? Like the power of the motor, like the electricity of what's being used?
If you think about it, they only have an ECM motor and a fancy circuit board. That's all that's in that unit. Okay.
Right.
So, and temperature sensors, I think. But that's all that it is. So my assumption is that they're backwards calculating it based off of the current draw and the numbers coming out of the motor as they're running it, because they have all that data. So they might as well be able to backwards calculate it. So Adam told me, and this does make sense, that he heard from a brother's friend from a cousin's sister or something like that, that the further you get away from a 1/2 inch of static on that unit, the more inaccurate the measurement of CFM reads, because it's designed at a 1/2 inch of static or whatever the design number is. So and that's, they're saying that the further you get away from that. So the fact that we sized our stuff that I'm running such a low static, but again, I don't know if that 0.26 is accurate because I haven't measured it with my DG8 yet, but I'll be getting on that hopefully tomorrow. So that'll be cool.
You making a video about that?
Yeah, whether I got to figure out how to edit this and stuff, but yeah, it'll be number 7, I think. So
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, you should take all these when you're done and, like, I don't know, put them in a series on your channel or group them together in some sort.
I was at a local trade show this last week, and I ran into a guy from Linux, and he walks up, he's like, I watch your videos. And I'm like, yeah, cool, man. And so he's like, I'm the guy for this area for their sales rep, tech support guy, whatever. And he goes, I was really hoping you'd pick Linux. And I go, oh, that's funny. He's like, I was thinking about messaging you. And I said, well, I wasn't going to take anything for free anyways, because I wanted to pay for this for the video and stuff. But I told him, I said, and I think I said this last time, this isn't a secret, I'll be getting rid of this equipment in a couple years. So I'm going to try another brand. I've already got the ductwork. I'll just have fun with it and try the different brands. So we'll get to showcase other stuff too.
Try a Linux.
Yep.
Didn't you have a bone to pick with the Linux? What video was that? I don't remember. I thought in one of your videos there was something you were.
Maybe I was talking about the fact that they, on their budget model package units on the roof, they don't put low pressure controls on them.
Maybe that was it.
They only have a freeze stat and a high pressure control. And customers lost again, this is a compounding problem, but this was a video I did a couple months ago where they had a sandstorm come through this location and it plugged up all the AC filters, and the customer wasn't doing maintenance. So it ran that way for like a month and a half. And then I had a failed compressor, changed the compressor, and took the compressor back to autopsy it, and there was absolutely no oil in the compressor. And I put in a new compressor, so now it has double the oil in the system. So, and it's all because, customer wasn't doing maintenance and there was no low pressure controls.
Dude.
So yeah, that was an interesting one. And then, yeah, those have been fun. It's funny. I made the title of one of those videos, I'm starting to like the sand or something like that. And I really am, even though it's frustrating, it's making for these really cool repairs.
I wonder if the Linux guy watched that video.
Actually, yeah, I heard, because my contacts at Heatcraft, when I was in Georgia, Heatcraft is owned by Linux. And so my guy at Heatcraft was like, I watched that video. He's like, that was really good. And he's like, I forwarded that to my counterpart at Linux. And then I've heard from the other Linux guy that I ran into too. He's like, yeah, these people are all watching these videos. So I think it's awesome. Like, they're seeing this. And I don't think I told you guys this. Did I tell you the story of when I went to Heatcraft and how the guy, so I went to Heatcraft and I was being introduced to someone, and this guy comes up and he started telling me a story about a YouTube video they found on YouTube where someone was criticizing Heatcraft, and he started saying the phrases from the video, and I realized it was my video. They didn't put 2 and 2 together that they had found a video, and this will come out because we're making a whole video about it, but with Heatcraft, because they want to own up to this. But anyways, they found my video years before they wanted to work with me.
That's awesome.
And they turned this video into a training video that everybody in the company sees over and over and over again because of how pissed off I was in the video because of something that they did. Anyways, so
what's the video about?
I was installing some walk-in cooler equipment, and when I went to go prep the evaporators on the back dock, I cut the end bell off of the preformed suction line coming out the back, and when I cut it open, a bunch of carbon flakes fell out in my hand.
Ew.
And I was like, and I said in the video, I remember it now because I had to weld in the TXV and stuff, and I said in the video, hey, Heatcraft, who's going to pay my customer if I have to change these valves because they're plugged up with carbon or whatever? Like I had said that in the video. And I wasn't trying to be a jerk, but I was being honest. And again, this was well before I was working with them. So anyways, they changed their policies apparently because they saw that. Like the general manager of the company, I talked to him about it too. He was like, I made them show everybody at the company that. He's like, thank you for making that. And like I told him, I said, I wasn't trying to be a jerk. He's like, no. He goes, we needed to hear it because they changed policies because of it.
That's cool.
So
Jason's asking for the link of that video. And somebody else was talking about your settings in your T-stat. Duct verification test may be different from real-time stat. Go into advanced settings and check static in different stages.
I'll definitely have to do that. Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point, Doc. And again, I haven't commissioned the system yet. So that's I'm sharing details because I haven't even verified. I have not done a air balance yet. So I'm not going to do a true static pressure test and everything until I get the registers balanced to where I want them. Once I get that done, then I'll actually measure everything and dive deeper into it.
And even Al Anonymous was saying it doesn't know the current draw accurately. It does know the precise RPM though. Wouldn't that be even worse?
How could it not know the current draw if it's an ECM motor and they're measuring all that stuff? Because can see I can see the current draw on my app.
Oh,
for the equipment. I'm pretty sure I can see the individual motors too. I'll have to look and see. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I can see that. So they can measure that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. They do that. They probably use both. Who knows?
So who knows? I don't know. But again, I'm not an expert. This is just my assumptions on that. So Al Anonymous, you may be right. I don't know. So what stat am I rocking? Oh, nasty. I use I put a a Carrier Infinity system in. So I'm using the Infinity wall control. You have to use that. So I don't have a choice on the thermostat. Cool.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Well, let's wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Definitely been a good show.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I'm starving now.
Bummed Adam wasn't here. Yeah, dude. We're having Burrito tacos, I think, tonight.
Oh, dude, that's so much better than what I'm gonna go eat frozen.
I made salsa. Oh my gosh, guys. You guys, another thing. You seen that video I sent you yesterday of Jill? Because she took a bite of a jalapeno.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Okay, so I must be numb to freaking jalapenos, right? Because I love jalapenos. So I roasted a couple of jalapenos and I was making salsa. And I took a bite of it and I was like, this is so good. And it wasn't even spicy. I'm like, this jalapeno is not even spicy. And Jill's like, let me try. So she takes a bite. She loses her shit. For the rest of the night, she's pissed at me. She took a freaking bite. And then I took a bite after her. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And I'm eating it. And I'm like, it's not hot. But apparently, I don't know.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, but she was pissed because she couldn't taste her dinner. She said she was mad.
Really? It was that bad?
Yeah. It messed her up, I guess. So,
jeez.
Yep. Hey, you know what I think we should do? I like what George Robles said. He said later a-holes. I think our viewers should be called assholes.
Yeah.
That legit should be what we call our viewers, assholes.
I'm sure they would appreciate it.
They actually would. Our viewers understand the assignment for sure.
By the way, guys, that latest light I got, amazing. I wear it all the time. It's so amazing. That's so
where do you wear that?
How do you drop these bombs? What the hell do you do with that, bro?
Right there. Boom. It's on.
And what does that do? It's on? It sucks if it's on.
Oh, I have it wrong backwards. Sorry. Look at that.
What do you get? You like Rudolph over here? I don't understand what you're gonna do.
I feel like that's got to be hard to point though. Like you constantly adjusting your.
If you're tight space, like servicing something or whatever, you're good in the compartment. But it still adds light. It's awesome.
I'm more partial to a headlamp, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, does it clip to your hat?
You could. Yeah, you could do that. But the thing is,
it's just gonna point straight down though, then, right?
But if you have your hat backwards, that's what I've done. I put it on my back.
Yeah.
But I have the headlamp that's the 90, both of them but you gotta wear that headband. It's annoying to put it on all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can maybe see it, but I'm kind of a
you can even go like this. Look, boom, right there, bam. Oh, there goes my
Jason Green says like Opie and Anthony Pests. That's exactly, my friend. That's what Opie and Anthony called their viewers.
Who was Anthony? Who?
Anthony Cumia.
Yeah, he still did it well. He did it good still. He has
a podcast that he does, and then he has like a little network.
You do this. I see that shit, bro. I watched that.
Yeah. Anthony is a crazy right-wing person, so he's like always with Greg Gutfield and doing the right-wing thing, and he has all his guys. And poor Jimmy got caught in the middle when the breakup happened, because Jimmy was friends, or Jim Norton was friends with both the guys, and then he kind of went Anthony's route because Opie just started being a dick. And Opie just sits in his McMansion up in New York or whatever, Long Island, wherever he's at. And
the thing is, though, Chris, I heard he's trying to. He did get great money from that show, a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
but I heard he's trying to get some money back now because he's not doing anything now. He tries to go live. He doesn't get much people in there.
Yeah, Opie. I mean, honestly, Opie kind of dug himself a hole with that, because Anthony was okay with being cool, but Opie just dug a hole.
Yeah, right.
All right.